Hey everybody, I'm Rousseau and I do a little work here and there. You are watching Raconteur Weekly, and this week I'm talking a little bit more about the sewer tiles that I'm working on currently, and in particular I'm talking about what I do to finish the cardstock versions. You do this, and you'll be good to either paint them, or to make molds and start cranking out some more. Here we got a sluice piece and some floor pieces, despite what it may look like. These are all more or less 44 layers of cardstock. One of them is painted. Figure you can tell which one that is. But before I paint them, I coat them in super glue. I use a brush on super glue, but I figure that's not necessary and possibly not recommended. Your brush will get gummy if you brush the glue on before the stick glue has time to dry. The standard for these tiles is 2 squares by 2 squares, and in this case, I'm matching my previous tiles, so each square is 1.25 inches. And the construction of the floor pieces is easy enough. Basically, it's just squares on top of either other squares or rectangles. You just have to cut out a bunch of them and glue them all together. But yeah, there's a bunch of different types of floor tiles. This is a 1x1, or what I guess you call a 1x2x1, or a corner piece. And you can pull these apart and reconfigure them. And you know, we don't have walls yet, but it's a different topic for a different day. But yeah, the only thing is those edges, you can see they're a little uneven. So again, I seal them with super glue, then I shave them down with a razor blade. Show don't tell, they say. Well, we'll get to it. So like I said, I brush the super glue on, and generally I just try to get a nice thinnish coat. You just want to be able to tell that you've put super glue on all the surfaces. And I do all of the sides and the top, but I don't do the bottom, just in case some moisture does need to get out of there. And once that has dried or set or whatever, once it's not sticky anymore, I come back in with a razor blade and I just sort of drag it along backwards, and it'll just sort of peel off the top edges of the highest pieces of paper there. And you know, not too much of this is necessary. Just, you know, if it's really not square, you probably need to do a little bit of work. You could use a fine-grained sandpaper, but I'm content doing this. If I go through too far, I put more super glue, but I've gotten pretty good about lining up pieces of paper by now. As far as the painting is concerned, I always do a grayscale. So here it's like black on the whole bottom section, and then about a 50% gray on the top. This could probably do with a little more variance in the tone, but it's just a test, so it'll be fine. After that is green. You can go with a pretty watery paint if you've done your grayscale properly, but still, you go from dark colors to light colors, and this could probably actually use a little bit lighter of a green to really make it match what we had on the sluice already. But again, none of this is final, we're just trying things out. Still, that's about everything that I had for today. So I guess I'll get back to finishing those floor pieces. Until next time, you've been watching Raconteur Weekly on Rousseau Works, and I am Rousseau. Out.